It is a new week. It is time for a new training. So let's talk social media. All right. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm Jacqui. I'm a star director with Scentsy. I've been with Scentsy 12 years. And I work my Scentsy as like my second full-time job because it is income that my family depends on. So that's why I work it. And the ability for me to work it while I work a full-time job outside of the home is because of social media. So I want to talk to you guys about social media today. It's been a hot minute since I kind of touched on social media, and I thought when I was at the gym after work today, I was like, okay, what are we going to talk about today? I was thinking about some of the topics that I had written down to discuss, and for whatever reason, social media was just on my heart. I was like, this is what I'm going to talk about today because this is what I feel passionate about. Because the power of that social media is what is pushing our businesses forward, or what can push your business forward if it's not pushing it yet. Notice we say yet a lot when it comes to things, okay? So, social media, it can be very fickle, right? I get a lot of consultants, not just here in the team and in the group, right? But consultants, because I've been on YouTube. I really went on YouTube probably about in 2013. So, almost 12 years I've been on YouTube and doing training and content and unboxings and, all of this kind of stuff. And so I've gotten a lot of people who have reached out to me, not only over the years, but even just more so recently, like within the last 30, 60 days. Those questions have been more or less of how do I get more people to see what I'm doing on social media? And I want to really break this down because it has changed, right? Social media is evolving. Week by week sometimes, month by month, year by year. It is completely changed. And the audience is also changing every single day, week, month, year, okay? All of that is changing. And so if you are utilizing social media to push your business out there, well, you're going to have to change along with it, right? You have to, if that's what you're relying on. If you are a person and you work your business more like face-to-face, you are doing events or fundraisers, you're out in the community, whatever it is that you do, however it is that you do it, then stick with what you're doing, right? Stick with what you're doing. If you want to dabble in social media, dabble in social media. I personally have found that by leveraging social media, I am able to reach new customers, future team members, all of the above, right? And it's not because I'm hopping on and I'm saying, buy this today, or don't you want to be a Scentsy consultant too, right? I'm not doing those things because, for one, that's icky. And for two, I don't need to do those things. I don't need to because I am being authentic in what I talk about on social media. So I'm going to break this down platform by platform because each one of them are completely different. And if you think, when you think social media and you're like, okay, I need to do a video or I need to do a live, I will tell you from my own personal experience, in my personal opinion, that what you are putting on a platform is not going to work across all platforms. It just isn't. Maybe here or there, you might get that, oh my gosh, this went amazing on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and I just, everybody just loved it and all of the places. Maybe. But overall, it's not going to be like that every single time that you're using it, okay? So we have to have a little bit different strategy for each platform. Again, this is if you want to increase your customers utilizing social media, okay? If you want to build a team, if that's what you're looking to do, whatever it is that you're looking to do, that's what you need to lean into. And I really want you to, at the end of anything that you're really thinking about, keep that authenticity. true to you. Okay, you're gonna see, and you probably already do, right? Lots of other Scentsy consultants on social media, all over the place, right? Maybe even me. Maybe you follow me, and you see me doing different things. Just because it's working for me doesn't necessarily it's going to work for everybody else. Or just because Kimberly's doing it over here doesn't mean it's going to work the same for me over here with my audience, right? The same way that the platforms are all different, the people who follow you, the people who are watching your content, the people who it's showing up on their phone or on their computer, they are completely different from the same people that are showing up watching what I'm doing. And we're going to dig into this for the reason why that is and how you can really, again, lean into that, like push into that, right? To get the best outcome. So let's start with the first and foremost, and the one that I truly am not a huge fan of, Facebook, the Book of Faces. Okay. I mean, I love Facebook for what it is. For what it is, it's fabulous. It's just peachy. Love it. Great. It's a great way for me to connect with my group. I do have, people ask me a lot, like, do you have a VIP group? Yes, I do have a VIP group. I will say that while I do get interaction on that VIP group, I don't necessarily like put all my eggs in that basket. I am not necessarily like, oh, gotta have the VIPs. Like, the people who are in my VIP group on Facebook, number one, they found it because hopefully they got to it like because I did a follow-up, right? Or I sent something in the mail, or they're on my email list, whatever, right? Because that's how they got there. I don't allow other consultants in my VIP group because why? Because I'm not trying to sell to other consultants. If someone requests my VIP group and they're a consultant, they're obviously not going to get approved into my group. So I keep it truly on that VIP level, right? Because I only want my customers in there. And it's just a really good place for me to keep my customers up to date as to what's going on, right? When there's a big release, when we've got a product launch that happens, when there's a join promo, when there's a host promo. I'm just trying to think of like different things that I would add in there. Those types of things are what I'm posting. Also, what I post in my VIP is I try to give pieces of me, of myself, right? Because why? Because I'm building relationships with those customers in my VIP group. Just like I would if I was talking to them in person, if I was texting with them, if I was emailing them, however it is that I would be talking with them, right? I want to keep the same communication line in my VIP group. Just because we're on the Book of Faces doesn't mean that that changes me or the things that I do or say or am offering, right? All of those things should stay the same. So if you are someone who has a VIP group, or maybe you've thought about getting one, by all means, get one, try it out, see how it goes, okay? Again, I'm going to preface this by saying don't throw all the eggs in the basket and say, this is my end-all be-all. I will tell you, there are lots of times where I get zero interaction from a post, a product launch, here's what's going on, or hey, who's interested in some samples and sending out some happy mail this week, right? Like, there are times when I get zero interaction. I still go on about my day. I do. I don't let it upset me. I don't let it affect me. I don't say, oh, I've done a disservice, or no, they don't like what I'm doing anymore. Nobody's listening. Just because they're not responding, A, doesn't mean that they're not seeing what you're doing. B, it also maybe means that they're not necessarily interested in what we're offering right now, right? We've got, maybe a Mother's Day bundle, and maybe those people that are looking are just like, yeah, no, I'm good, right? I've already got Mother's Day taken care of. So they don't need to respond. So don't think that it's a right way or a wrong way, or you've done something wrong, or it's not working. Just be consistent with it. Just be consistent with it. It's the same way that I do with my health journey, right? I have to get fluid in, I have to get protein in every single day. I have to go to the gym, I have to do all of these things, right? And if I don't stay consistent with all of those things, well, things are going to change, right? So it's the same thing. I'm still just going to be consistent, whether they are interacting or not. Okay. So if you want to create a VIP group, awesome. Go for it. Shoot for the stars. Put it out there. Have some fun in it, but don't let it run your business. Don't let it think or let you think that if you're putting things out there and people are not responding, that they don't want the VIP group. Okay. Okay. There's my PSA about a VIP group. However, I also have a business page when it comes to my business, right? So I have a business page on Facebook because Facebook terms of service say that I should be utilizing a business page to conduct any type of business, right? So listing products that are launching, this and that, right? So I do have a business page. I will tell you again, I don't put all my eggs in that basket. Why? Kind of like with the VIP group, okay? So if you're utilizing that, then fine, dandy. What I will tell you is, though, my personal Facebook is probably where I'm the most active when it comes to my Scentsy. Now, that doesn't mean that I am like sell, flyer all the time, right? The majority of the things that I'm posting are me changing my wax or me using the laundry and laundry products and doing a load of laundry, or the majority of the time it's me changing my wax, but using the Scentsy swipes, or there was the plant appreciation bundle over this past weekend, right? I did share about that. There are certain things that I will share, but for the majority of what I do on my Facebook, it's really, here's what I'm using today. Oh, and it happens to be Scentsy. Why? Because I use it every day. Look, I'm putting a new scent circle in my car. Why? Because I love my car to smell good, right? Again, I'm not sell, but I'm reminding them I use the products. I use the products. So I want them to see me using the products and feel like, oh, I never thought about my car smelling good. Some people don't, right? Some people don't think about that. Or, oh, it's been forever since I've had one of those little trees in my car. Let's get rid of the trees, ditch the trees. Let's get with the circles. Okay, right? Like those kinds of things. That's really, honestly, when it comes to the Book of Faces, that's honestly what people are going to be more happy with seeing, because they don't want to be sold to when they're on Facebook. I mean, you can do that, right, from your business page and your VIP group, however you want to do it. But what I will say, for the most part, they don't want to be sold to. They want to see what other people are doing. They want to see what's going on in your life. They want to see all of those things. That's really where Facebook kind of fits in, right, as a platform. All right, so moving away from Facebook. Okay, Instagram. I love me some Instagram. I love Instagram. It has always been my number one platform. I just love it. For one, I'm a very visual person, so I like to see things. I like to see pictures. I like to see what other people are doing. I love watching reels. It's fun. It's all around fun. And here's the thing when it comes to Instagram. There's a different audience on Instagram compared to Facebook. Yes, they're under the same Meta umbrella, but the people who are scrolling Instagram are there for that visual, right? They're not necessarily there to hear about the day or how the kid's birthday party went. Maybe they do. I mean, by all means, post what you want to post, right? But for the most part, somebody who is scrolling Instagram is looking for pictures, is looking to be inspired, is looking for something fun, right? They're looking for all of those things. So when you think about Instagram, what I really want you to think about is, how can I showcase something? Even if it is something as simple as, look, I made some samples, right? Put them on a cute, little dish or something, right? Take a picture of maybe a cube or some samples in a warmer dish, right? People are going to react better on Instagram when it comes to that visual. That's where you're going to capture them, right? The second part of Instagram is reels. So doing those reels, you can have a lot of fun. And if you're really looking for tips and tricks and how to, find what the cool kids are doing on Instagram, all right, there's lots of great ways that you can do that. Start following other creators on Instagram. All right. If you start following some other creators, you can take what these other creators are doing. And then I want you to put on the lens of, okay, that's how they showcased their Stanley Cup, right? That's how they showcase. Oh, look at how cute that looked. That makes me want to go buy a Stanley now, right? Okay. So then insert your products. How can your products catch the attention just like they did with the Stanley Cup? How could you do that, right? So get a little creative, have a little bit of fun, right? There's, like I said, the tutorials when it comes to reels. You can follow creators on Instagram. They are all about sharing tips and tricks. That's honestly how I find a lot of my inspiration is I look for just other creators, not even Scentsy creators. I don't necessarily, I mean, I follow Scentsy consultants, but I'm not really looking for that, right? I'm looking to see something that catches attention, something that has a lot of comments, likes, shares, things like that, right? And then I go, okay, how can I incorporate Scentsy into that, right? I remember I had a reel go a little viral, not like super viral, but a little viral. It was a couple of years back. And I just remember it had the Frozen song on it or whatever, from Frozen 2. And now I can't even think of the ding ding song, but I can remember the reel, but I had seen the reel. I had seen other people do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can recreate that. And I wanted to recreate that, of course, right, with Scentsy. And I was talking about laundry. Okay. So I incorporated that. I did it with the laundry. Oh my gosh. I got so many shares and likes and all kinds of things, right? It really just drummed up a lot of eyeballs. And what happens on Instagram when people like or you catch their attention? They follow you. They follow you. They start following you. So when they start following you, because they're like, oh my gosh, look at what they're doing. This looks like fun. How interesting is that? Oh, that was super cute how they did that. Or that made me laugh. Ha ha ha. Right? They start following you. And then as they're going to see, you also want to salt and pepper your regular life and who you are and what you do into your social media. And this is for all platforms, but on Instagram, all right? Because again, people are going to build a relationship based on you, and they're going to want to follow you for what you have to offer. So whatever that looks like. For me right now, it's about my bariatric lifestyle, right? So it's about me and my protein and my water and going to the gym and, food and meal prep and things like that, right? So that's kind of like what I share. And then I have my Scentsy that I put on there as well. So people who are following me for that kind of stuff and they're already interested in that, they're also going to see my Scentsy. And then hopefully along the way, right, when that new sample comes along or that new warmer comes out and they're like, oh my gosh, I love rainbows. Hey, this chick that I follow on Instagram, oh my gosh, that is super cute. I need to have that, right? That's how you're going to start seeing those followers converting into sales. Okay. This is another question that I get a whole heck of a lot. And I've actually talked to a handful of you during coaching calls and one-on-one sessions, right? About this in particular, right? Because the question comes up, well, I'm doing this, but I don't see any sales from it. Again, we have to stay consistent, right? We have to stay consistent with what we're posting, with what we're doing. And trust me, when it comes along that warmer happens to pop up, or that scent, or that new product, or that new laundry line, whatever it is, right, that floats their boat, when it comes along, you're going to be the one that they think of. Now, some of them, maybe they come along and you didn't even realize where they were following you from. You had no idea that they started following you because they saw you on Instagram or saw you on the Book of Faces or saw you on TikTok. We're going to get to that in a minute, so hang tight. But just keep that in the back of your mind. You don't know yet, which is why we need to stay consistent. We need to stay the course. Continue doing what you're doing. Just keep doing it. I'm not getting any likes. I don't care. Continue to do it. Continue to do it. Because the people who will follow you. They just will. Now, another piece of the pie, specifically not as much on Facebook. I will tell you, Facebook doesn't really utilize hashtags like the rest of the platforms do. You can on Facebook, of course, hashtags do work on Facebook, but I will tell you that the majority of the time, people are not searching hashtags on Facebook. They're just not. On Instagram, however, they are. So one of my best tips that I have for you when it comes to Instagram, whether it's on a reel, whether it's on a carousel, which is multiple pictures, right? So they can slide through the pictures, or it's just one picture or whatever it is, a live, whatever it is that you're doing on there, okay? People will follow hashtags, but one of my favorite things to do when I'm specifically talking about Scentsy, maybe I'm showing off the samples that I made, right? I am hashtagging where I live, the city that I live in. This may sound silly and you may be like, why the heck, why does that matter? Okay, here's what matters. Again, people are searching on Instagram. They also do it on TikTok too and on Twitter, but we haven't gotten there yet. But what I will say is they are following those hashtags. So people who live in your city, probably, they're following those hashtags. And maybe you don't even realize this, right? Because you aren't. But I guarantee you people are. So I also like to think outside of the box. And I like to think whenever I am posting something that is Scentsy, like I said, maybe it's just showing a picture of the samples, or maybe it's a reel of me putting together some happy mail, right? I want to think about whatever it is that I'm doing. I want to incorporate and say, okay, if I was watching this video and I had no interest in Scentsy, why would I be inspired to look at this? Do I like fragrance? Do I love this song? Maybe it's the new Morgan Wallen and Post Malone song, right? Like, I'm waiting for this song to drop. Anyway, I digress. But maybe it's that. Maybe you have your wherever it is that you're doing your reel or whatever, and you're wearing a Scentsy shirt, right? But you're doing a reel that maybe has nothing to do with Scentsy. Maybe you're doing a little dance. Maybe you're doing a little song, whatever, right? What would somebody look for? If you were someone who was searching for that, what would you look for, right? Maybe I was doing a dance, and maybe it's a new dance craze. It's totally new and viral, and I'm completely making this up, by the way. I don't even think this is a thing. But let's say it's the hop and skip dance. I don't know. Maybe it's some new trend on TikTok. Who knows, right? We never know. But maybe that's what you're doing. That's what you want to hashtag in there. People are going to be searching for that, right? Follow me. Follow me. I promise you it's going to be okay. Those are the hashtags that you want to use. Not necessarily, I mean, maybe you want to tag Scentsy because there might be, and there probably are, people who look for Scentsy. This might be a hard truth to really swallow down. The majority of the people who are following the Scentsy hashtag, they're already Scentsy consultants. Yeah, they are. So when you hashtag Scentsy, it's awesome. And maybe you want to be featured, right? Because you took a beautiful picture of your warmer and you want to be featured. So you're using, but use Scentsy Snapshot, hashtag Scentsy Snapshot, right? And then tag Scentsy at Scentsy, right? Okay. That's how you get your picture seen by Scentsy. Okay. If that's your goal, that's your goal. But for the most part, the people who are following the hashtag Scentsy are already consultants. Your target audience is not other consultants. Your target audience is people who want their houses to smell good. Your target audience is people who love spring cleaning. Your target audience is people who love doing laundry or hate doing laundry, right? Whatever. look for those hashtags. If you're talking about the counter clean, if you're talking about the whiff box this month with all the spring cleaning products, you want to use hashtags that are spring cleaning or clean with me or watch me clean my house or organized home or home sweet home, right? Like those are the hashtags that you want to be adding to those posts because that's what people are looking for. And again, people are going to see it if it's visual, if it makes them smile, if it makes them laugh, if you can relate to it, right? Whatever, it's just a good picture. That's when people are going to click that follow button and they're going to start seeing you more and more in their feed. And again, that's why that authenticity piece needs to be there. You need to sprinkle in other pieces of your life, right? Like I said, me with what I'm doing and in my drinking and my eating and the gym and all the things, right? So I'm doing other things where I'm hashtagging those things. And people who are following me for that also see that I also do this Scentsy thing over here. And maybe, just maybe, something comes up that they're like, I must have that product. That's when things are going to convert for you. But again, you have to stay the course. You have to stay consistent. All right, let's hop over to Pinterest real quick because I love me some Pinterest. Okay, Pinterest. I will tell you again, Pinterest is different, way different than Instagram. It's different than the Book of Faces, okay? It's different than TikTok. I will tell you the things and the people that I follow when it comes to Pinterest. What am I normally looking for on Pinterest? Sad but true. I'm looking at recipes. I'm looking at maybe some gym workouts. Maybe I'm looking for wallpapers for my phone, for my iPad. Maybe I'm looking for travel. Maybe I'm looking for nail designs, right? Like I'm looking on all kinds of things, right? Okay. So when it comes to Pinterest, again, people are scrolling, right? They're scrolling. What do you want to happen when they're scrolling like this? You want them to stop their scroll, right? What's going to make them stop their scroll? Is it a pretty picture? Who knows? I'm nicer than my face looks like. It's a sweatshirt. My goodness, it's a sweatshirt, right? But maybe, just maybe, somebody's like, oh my gosh, I must have that, right? The same thing's going to happen when it comes to your Scentsy on Pinterest. So the things that I'm sharing on Pinterest are going to be more from my website, right? So like I will go to my personal website, and when I'm on my website, let me just pull it up here. I'm going to show you one of the things that I like to do. So I'm on the Mother's Day bundle. Okay. Let me get around my little, I have to unbox my Scentsy Club. Don't let me forget. Okay. You're on it. Okay. So I'm on my Scentsy, right? Oh, look, the Butterfly Blooms Mother's Day warmer. Oh my gosh. This is fabulous, right? Okay. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I must have this. How can I go on? Well, first they can create a wish list, but I'm like, I need to remember this. I need to remember this because I want to get this, right? So one of the ways that I can do this is I can hit share. I can then go, oh, I want to save to Pinterest, right? I have the option to save to Pinterest, and I know all things are different, okay? And then I'm going to save it to my, must-have list, whatever, on Pinterest, and I'm going to remember that pen. But for me, right, I want people to see this warmer. I want them to see this warmer. So when they are seeing this warmer, I want them to be redirected back to my website. So this is how we are going to, now it used to be a lot different. It used to be a lot easier to do this, but the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to save this picture, save to photos. Now, again, whatever tablet, whatever phone you're on, it does not matter. I'm just going to click the address. I'm going to click copy. You want to copy the address or the URL of the page that you want them to go to. Then you're going to go back over to your Pinterest. You're going to click the plus sign because you want to add a pen. Hello? Oh, it was talking to me. I wasn't paying attention. That's the shortcut way, iPad. Calm down. Okay, pen or board. You can do whatever, right? I want to share a pen. So I'm just going to go to that picture of the warmer that I just saved from my website. Oh, so pretty. Okay. What is that? The milk Simply Diamond. I was going to say the milk glass warmer. I'm just going to say diamond to make this quicker. Diamond warmer. I'm putting that in there as the title. I'm not even going to put a description here. I'm really not, but by all means, please do. Link, add your link here. And now I just want to paste that link in. I want to pick a board. And of course, I'm going to put it, maybe I'm going to put it on home decor. Because people are going to follow home decor, right? What would a customer be looking for? Okay. That's the question you want to be asking yourself on social media. Okay, tag related topic. Again, you can get really intricate into here, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to hit create. Your pen is published. All right, excellent. So when people go to my page, what are they seeing on, oh shoot, sorry, I just completely went by, what are they seeing on my page? Well, they're seeing a lot of Scentsy, first of all, but they're also seeing this pen. So maybe they're scrolling along and they're like, oh my gosh, I must have this in my life. So when they click on it, it's going to take them to my page, directly to my page. This is what I'm talking about. Why Pinterest is so much different than all of the other things. This on Pinterest is where you want, it doesn't even, okay. It doesn't matter if it's a in real life picture. Sure. That probably has a little bit of weight to it. Maybe that makes them slow their scroll a little bit easier. But to be completely honest, the warmers that we have, the products that we have pretty much speak for themselves, right? As I've always said, I can put Scentsy in a room by itself, walk away, not say a word, come back, and people will be like, I want to buy that. How do I buy that? Where do I go? How do I do it? I need to know. I don't even have to say anything. I don't have to talk them into it. I don't have to talk about it. I don't have to share it. They're about it. Okay? Again, same thing with Pinterest. So if that's an easier way for you to do it, then do it. Do it. Okay, do it that way. It's going to be a lot easier. Again, it's a whole different audience because people who are scrolling Pinterest are people who are looking for recipes, home decor, dresses, nails, all the things, right? They're looking for all kinds of different things. But when you start posting consistently, again, you want to start creating boards. Like I said, I have that home decor board, right? So in that home decor board, I don't just have Scentsy stuff in there, right? I've got other things in there. People will follow me because they like what I'm sharing. People are going to start following you because they like what you're sharing. All of this, right? Again, consistency. We're just going to keep on doing it. Pinterest, I will say with Pinterest, hashtags, sure, they do matter. I don't really spend a whole lot of time hashtagging my Pinterest posts. I will be honest, I just don't. But what I will say is that has certainly not stopped me from getting followers or views. Let me just show you in real time. This is my Pinterest. I have 2.7 thousand followers. And if you look right here on my monthly views, I'm totally shaking when I do 9.6 thousand monthly views. That is almost 10,000 views in 1 month. That is 10,000 people who have lined up to see what I've posted. Are 10,000 people buying from me? No. But even if 2 buy from me, that's a win in my book, right? Okay, that's a win. Take your wins where you get them, my friends. But my point being is, even with me having less than 5,000 followers, I have almost 10,000 people who have looked at my profile page to see what I'm posting. And I post everything and anything. Okay, friends? I do a lot of scrolling on Pinterest in my spare time, which is very little, but I do. And I repin things and I save things and all the things, right? If you're familiar with Pinterest, I'm sure you do the same, right? That's not any big secret. So that's how we're working on Pinterest. All right, I'm going really long. I'm so sorry. Okay, Twitter/X, whatever we're calling it now. I don't know. If you want to use that, then use that. I honestly, I don't use it a whole heck of a lot. I use it a little There's times when I'll get on it. I'm not consistent with it though. I will be completely upfront and honest. I'm just not. Maybe if I was more consistent, I could share more of what works better on there. But for the majority, I find that all of these kinds of things that I'm sharing, I'm not really hitting a wide audience on Twitter, X, whatever. I'm not, which is why I really don't use it. I just don't. I personally am not on it a whole lot, so there's that, okay? So, but what I will say, if you are, or if you want to start using it, okay, again, hashtags, they're going to be your BFF. But don't just think hashtag Scentsy. You want to think hashtag like you are a customer. What am I looking for? I'm a mom who I want my house to smell good. What am I going to search for if I get on Twitter? I'm going to search for house scent or great smelling laundry. I don't know, right? Like those would be the hashtags that I would use because those are the things that people are maybe hopefully using. Okay. And there's other ways too. You can go on Google and you can use the Google machine and you can, there's lots of different apps. There's also programs. There's also Google itself that will tell you like, what are the trending hashtags right now? Now, I don't like to necessarily like throw a carrot out there to bait somebody and then they come back and they're like, yeah, I like steak. Why'd you show me a carrot, right? Like that's different. Okay. So I don't necessarily follow that, but if you're just looking for ideas, there's that. Okay. And again, there's apps out there too. Most of them, I think, charge like a monthly fee, but there are apps that will help you with hashtags. So by all means, if you want to pay $4.99 a month or whatever to get the latest hashtags, then by all means, that's your money. It's your decision to make, right? Do you? I've done those in the past. Have they made a huge impact? Not really. Not really. They just haven't. Would I use them again in the future? Probably, if the app also had other things on there that I would use. So there, again, it depends. Last but not least, let's talk about TikTok real quick. Okay, TikTok. All right. So for me, when it comes to TikTok, the TikTok hole. The TikTok hole. I am so guilty of the TikTok. Okay, it sucks me in. Again, with TikTok. Hashtags are going to work for you, just like we've talked about, right? But again, you want to put on the customer hat. What would I be searching for if I wanted to look at a pineapple warmer? Well, I'd hashtag pineapple, or I love pineapples, or stand like a crown, wear a crown. I don't know, whatever the pineapple words are. I don't know. Think of all the pineapple words. Tropical. I don't know. But those would be the things, right, that you want to hashtag. TikTok also, what I can pull from my own personal TikTok and what makes me slow my scroll, it may sound silly because here's the thing. TikTok, even, I'm going to say 2 or 3 years ago, if you were looking at TikTok, it was a lot of people out there doing dances and lip syncing. That's like what it was, right? TikTok has evolved. Okay. There are people who will follow people on TikTok to hear about their daily drama. Like, you know, there's people out there who have like real drama, like drama. Okay. And I've gotten sucked into some, I've been like, oh, let me watch that now. I've got to follow this person. What's happening in their life, right? Like we all love to see a car wreck, right? We slow down and we look, okay. Same thing that's happening on the TikTok. So what I personally have found in my TikTok journey is the more that you are talking and sharing you in your TikTok, that's the more or better connection that you're probably going to get. People love to be able to see and hear what other people are doing on the TikTok, okay? They just are. People love my meal prep videos when I'm posting those and sharing how I'm meal prepping. And that's me just making my lunches for the week, guys, for goodness sake. I have people who have really loved when I put together samples. Oh my gosh, like that. I had a lot of people who were messaging me about a TikTok that I did. I don't know. It was a while back. I got comments on it. I got a lot of likes. I got a lot of reshares. I got a lot of those things, right? Or reposts, I guess. A lot of those things happening. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. People like to see that stuff. It's really great to set up your phone, put it on like a slow speed, and then do whatever it is that you're doing, changing out your wax, doing the laundry, cleaning the kitchen counters. People love, especially on TikTok, people love watching other people clean. Did you know this? Have you been to the side of clean TikTok? I have been sucked down the hole of the clean TikTok, okay? Do you know how many refrigerators I watch getting restocked on TikTok? Okay. But wouldn't it be cool if you were to see someone, or maybe you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. I want to do this. All right, well, do that. And then get your counter clean out, and then clean your refrigerator after you pull everything out, and then use that to clean the shelves, right? And then put them back. And then you can be talking and do your little voiceover and be like, now my whole refrigerator smells like lemons from my squeeze the day counter clean, right? Whatever, okay? Those are the things you want to salt and pepper into that TikTok. Are people watching it just for the Scentsy? No, they're watching because you made them slow their scroll, okay? They slowed and they're like, oh, it's one of those videos. That's what I do. Oh, it's one of those. Let me see. How are they organizing, right? I get so inspired. People love that on TikTok. All right. And again, you could even, another really great idea for TikTok, as simple as this sounds, but again, it's something that's going to make them slow their scroll. Why? Because it's pretty to look at. That's why. Okay. So take your camera, set it up on a tripod, set it up on books, whatever you need to do. You want to do an over the shot. Okay. And I'm just holding this up. Please don't let me spill it on my carpet. Okay. So here's the dish from my warmer here on my desk. Come on, Jacqui, don't spill it. I'm on camera. Ugh, don't get nervous now. Okay, so I've got my dish, right? So let's say I dump the wax here. I wipe out my dish. I'm going to set my camera down. And then I'm going to maybe set it on slow-mo, right? So it's going really slow, but then I can speed it up, right? Or I'm sorry, go put it on like the fast, right? So it's going super fast, but you get my drift, right? So it goes fast when they're watching it. So you're going to set it down, and then you're going to put like 2 or 3 cubes in there and just let your camera do its thing. Just let it run. And what's going to happen in real time, right? We know in real time it's going to take, 3 to 5 minutes, whatever. Those cubes are going to start melting down by 5-ish minutes, whatever. They've now melted down. Well, now when you have your TikTok, right, and you put it on, you speed it up, you put that TikTok out, hit that speed button, push it all the way up to the highest speed, it goes much quicker. That's so much more satisfying to watch, is it not? Let me tell you it is. Okay, that is how simple of an idea you can do for a TikTok that's showcasing what you do, and it's visually appealing. It's going to make people slow that scroll and stop and be like, oh, that was super cool. Wait a minute, what the heck did she just melt, right? And then they're gonna be like, oh, I gotta follow this one, follow, or like, or whatever, share, or repost, all the things, right? Maybe they hit your profile up. Across all platforms, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, Book of Faces, right? You need to make sure that you have a landing page, a link in bio. However it is that you're making one. There are many different ways, and I'm not getting into it on this video, but we'll do it next week. That's what we're doing next week. I'll show you how I use mine. I use beacons, but you don't have to use that. There's many different ways. I'm going to show you a handful of different ways, but that's why I use mine, okay? And that link in bio literally contains every way to follow me, to get more information from me, to see what else I do, all the other things, right? So it has my TikTok on there, it has my Pinterest on there, it has my Instagram, it has my Book of Faces, it has my link to my job form on how to get a sample, it has my link to my YouTube, right? All these things on one link, and I'm sharing that link in all the places. So when people are following me from the Book of Faces, and they're like, oh, I gotta follow Jacqui, and then they look and they're like, oh, she's also on Instagram. Oh, let me see what she's doing on Instagram. Click, right? And they're going to click the button. And hopefully the goal is, right, as they start following you on the other platforms, maybe where they're going to see different things, right? Because like we just talked about, the whole warming of the wax is going to work better on TikTok than it is on the Book of Faces. Because on the Book of Faces, people are there to read about the drama and to see the pictures of the kids and to hear about grandma and I wish everybody a happy birthday and all of those things, right? It's much different than on TikTok where they're slowing their scroll for that. Much different. And some of those things, yes, could also be used on Instagram too. Again, it just depends on who's following you and where. But so some of those things are a little interchangeable to a point. But again, you really want to organize your content, okay? Really dig into what are people looking at and how can I make them slow their scroll? How can I make them stop and click to follow on me? Because again, at some point, once they follow me, right, I'm being consistent and I'm constantly showing up and I'm taking a picture, I'm doing the TikTok or I'm over here on the Book of Faces or whatever, right? They're going to start to see your everyday life, and your everyday life may be about cleaning the house, taking care of the kids, going on a grocery store haul. Oh, and I'm changing my Scentsy wax, right? You see how you're sprinkling all of your pieces in to your social media. So those people who may follow you because they like watching your grocery haul, or they relate to you because you're also a mom with 3 kids and you know, are talking about those kinds of things, right? And then you are also sprinkling in how you also do this Scentsy over here as your side hustle or whatever. That's when those things are going to make a difference. Now, here's where we're going to come to an end on this. We want to talk about converting those people and how we know what is working for us. How do we know which platforms are working the best, right? Because we're being consistent, Jacqui. Now we are, right? Because now we know what to do. We've got the secret sauce, but now how do we know if it's working, how it's working, which one's working better? Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, this is how we know. We ask. We ask. And it doesn't have to be this awkward, hey, how'd you find me? No, it doesn't have to be awkward, okay? But when people order from you, when you are doing your follow-up, whether that's through a text, project broadcast, sending an email, calling them on the phone. Why do I still do this? Calling them on the phone, however, sending them something in the mail, you're mailing it out, right? Whatever. Incorporate the question, how did you find me? It sounds crazy, I know. But when you start doing it, you're going to see how people are finding you. So here's my example of how I do mine. I have a jot form. Love my jot form. You guys know I'm a jot form girl. I love my jot form. I have this short little jot form. And I will put it in all of my follow-ups. And what the jot form, it's just, again, very short because people don't want to sit here and scroll and answer 50 questions just because they ordered from you. They just don't. So don't do that. Short and sweet, people. Short and sweet. You want to give them a couple questions, right? So in your follow-up, you're going to say, hey, thanks so much for your recent order of the plant appreciation bundle. I personally have this warmer. I know you're going to love it too. And I share lots of different ways on how I dress it up all throughout the year. I'd love it if you had 2 seconds to click this link. I've got some happy mail on the way to you to say thanks, right? Because my happy mail is, you know, like sending out my, you know, even if it's just regular felt sample, right? So my felt samples with the flyer. Okay, so even if it's that with 1 stamp, it's going out the door. Even if it's a postcard, doesn't matter, okay? Or if you don't do happy mail, that's fine. You don't have to say that, whatever. Do your thing. But, right? And then I put in my jot form link. And on my jot form, it asks them for their name. It asks them for their email. And then it has this little drop down, or actually, sorry, radio, the little radio buttons. And it says, how did you find me? It says Book of Faces, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, other. Oh, and I think it has referral on there, like referral. And then I have a little, you know, a little box underneath that says, if someone referred you, who was it that referred you? What's their name? And that's it. And then submit. That's it. right? 3 simple, quick questions. Name, email, how'd you find me? Now, what do you do with that information? Well, if you're using JotForm, which you can do free, people, so calm down, okay? You can do it for free. On JotForm, there's a free version. You can live with it, and unless you want to pay for it too, that's great too, okay? But then in JotForm, you have the ability to, everybody who answers that, when you're on JotForm, you can actually export that into a report, and it will give you a report, okay? And then you can look at all of the responses that you got. Let's say you got 10 responses. 10 people ordered last month. Actually, let's take that back, because maybe not all 10. I don't know. Well, maybe 10 people ordered from you, and all 10 clicked your link. Yay, that's good, right? I like to always shoot for 50%. But what in this instance, we're going to say all 10 answered back. They all answered back. And then you can look at all 10 responses, and you can go, look, 4 of them were from Instagram. 2 were a referral. This one found me on Facebook. Okay, but Instagram, right? Ding, ding, ding. Now we know. All right, some people found me on Instagram. All right. So I know I need to be maybe a little bit more consistent, or maybe I need to get a little bit more creative. So I'm going to follow some more creators over there and see what people are doing. I want to get inspired. I want to kind of build that audience up, right? This is how we find out. That's what we're doing with the information. This is how we're able to take all of the craziness that is all of those social media platforms, and then look to see what is the best performing platform for you and your customers, the people who are doing the ordering. They're the ones we really want to know about, not the people who never click like or whatever, never end up doing anything. But that's how I know, that post that I did about that plant appreciation bundle in my VIP group, I only had 1 person even like it. But look, 3 people who ordered, they said that they found me from my Facebook or from my, maybe your VIP is an option. I'm just using that as an example. But right now you can say, look, people are seeing it. So even though they're not hitting the like button, even though they're not commenting, I know they're watching, because that's how they found me. Same thing with Instagram, same thing with TikTok, same thing with Pinterest, same thing with the YouTube, all the things, okay? Okay, this is how we are going to really dig in, because while it's great to have all of these things, it all boils down to the follow-up at the end, right? I'm not the only one who has told you this. The fortune is in the follow-up. I hate that saying, but it is so incredibly true, because that's how we learn where our customers are coming from. That's how we learn what we're doing is working. That's how we learn what our customers like, right? That's how we're able to build relationships with our customers. That's how our customers are going to come back and be returning customers. I will tell you, 80%, if not more, of my business is returning customers. That is the majority of my business. Now, yes, we have consumable products, so they want to keep ordering. That's awesome. That's part of the reason I do Scentsy, right? But at the same time, it's because I also make sure that I do follow-up. Now, am I always on time with my follow-up? No. I'm not going to lie. I am not. There are a lot of days I am playing a lot of catch-up, okay? I'm playing catch-up. But that's okay. That's okay. The point of the matter is that I'm still doing it. It may have been a month or more that maybe I forgot to thank someone for their order, right? But when I do, does that make the thank you less genuine? No. I order a lot of scrub hats off of Etsy, for example, okay? From a lot of different people, because I find different cute little scrub hats that I like to wear to work, right? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Anyway. But I will tell you, how many people have followed up with me from ordering on Etsy? 0. I have 0 Etsy sellers who have done any kind of follow-up with me. None. I will get the generic thank you when I originally make my order on Scentsy, but I will tell you right here, right now, as many scrub hats as I've ordered off of Etsy, I have never had somebody follow up with me at any time. And I've been buying them for over a year now, right? Different ones from different people because I like the cute things. Never had somebody reach out and say, thank you so much when you ordered for me back in December. Is there a style that you're looking for? I'd be happy to see if I have something that fits your needs. Do you know how grateful I would be if somebody did that for me on Etsy? I'd be like, yes, actually, I've been looking for a scrub hat with bananas. I don't know, right? Like, I want a banana scrub hat. So do you have anything that's bananas, or my favorite color is pink, or whatever, right? I'd be jumping for joy. Like, oh my gosh, thank you. Did they send me something? No. Did they, whatever, they made a connection with me, and I felt special because of that. Now, again, it hasn't happened, but I would feel special. Your customers are going to feel the same, regardless if you are sending out happy mail, if you're doing the whole horse and pony show. I don't care what you do when you do your follow-up. You need to be doing follow-up. Can be free. It doesn't have to cost you any kind of money. Make that follow through. Close the circle, right? Okay? You don't close the circle on a sale until you have made the sale. The sale is shipped out. You've done your follow-up, and then you've reached out maybe the next month or the month after or whatever, right? And been like, hey, this is what we have over here. This is why I have like an customer email list, right? And I use Flowdesk, and I send out all of my customer emails. This is how my customers find me and know what's going on and are up to date, right? Or they're now in the VIP group. All of the things are in motion because I've completed the circle. And when you complete the circle is when you're going to have repeat customers. And when you complete that circle, because in our follow-up, we're going to be asking how they found us. Now we know this is where I'm going to spend more time when it comes to social media. Do I have some extra time to make a reel? Sure, because a lot of my people follow me from Instagram. So I'm going to make some time to do a short reel today or this weekend or whatever. All right. Okay. So that's what I have for you on social media. Next week, we're going to talk about that link in the bio. Okay. So if you guys are interested in kind of digging into that, if you want to see what that really is all about, how I do mine, I will certainly will be on the computer. So I'll screen share and we'll look exactly how I do mine. Like I said, I use beacons. It's just something that I've found and I really love, and I find it visually, again, it helps people slow the scroll, okay? But it is a very important piece when it comes to the social media. So we're not gonna close the social media circle just yet. So we're gonna come back to this next week. So just bear with me, but we're gonna get to that because you're going to want that piece because it really does make a difference, and it's gonna help people find you on the different platforms that you're on. All right. I know that was a lot. Thank you all for sticking with me. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.